on the second part of this game. Ooh. And believe it or not, it's called hide and seek, and I don't know why it's called hide and seek, but we soon find out today. Hopefully we do episode 2 of this game. Oh, we won't complete it in one day, like, but you never know. Right, I'm gonna check 1 or 2 things before I start. Check my broadcast is working and all that hoo-ha. Yep, check everything's okay. What's up, studio? Yep, check everything's okay. Yes, different game than I usually am. And at first, for once, I'm not the first comment. Right, let's carry on. How's everyone doing? Slightly different game today. Slower pace than Minecraft, but I just enjoy my game. Yes, says Studios. Yes. Think this game more like Sherlock Holmes.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
Oh, pardon me.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet.
I do apologize for being late. I was obliged to clear up some urgent business.
Urgent business, eh? What's so urgent about his business, eh? Eh? But basically, I've gone this far so far. Get it? Trying to figure out some talents. Then we slowly get in there, piece by piece. So basically, we're going to collect a few more skill points and hopefully carry on from there. Let's get started in the first episode and the second part. Lord Mortimer's office. Jai. 22nd, 1973, I think it was. Went too quickly.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome
Why
you.
did you
When I asked you to
stream
join us
then
here,
outside
it was of
yourself,
course in the
making
hope
a
that you would help
stream
us
game?
find your
Just letting everyone
mother.
know, Best League Studios.
However, there may be some new developments, but I don't know
That's
if
usually
they
what
are
I do.
linked to your mother. We have found
usually stream games,
Elizabeth
but I might
Adams'
do
body
Q&A
in
tomorrow.
her room. I'm afraid she was brutally murdered, stabbed several times.
I can't believe it. We bumped into each other last night on our way to bed.
Yes, I know. Duchess Hillsborough informed us that she accompanied you at the beginning of the evening. You
Hey,
apparently
Frankie, welcome to
bumped
stream.
into
How you doing,
Miss
mate?
Adams, who wanted to speak to you. We are told you turned her away, and she went away on her own.
That's correct.
Do you know what she wanted to see you about, by any chance?
Not in the least.
Pity. The poor child was probably trying to find help.
I thought it could wait until
Not
tomorrow.
too bad, mate. Not too bad.
Apparently not.
Apart from not getting spied some tools in the wall.
I shan't
Apart
hide
from
the
that, I'm
fact
fine.
this
I'm happy
tragedy
though.
puts me in a very
Happy and I
delicate
have my hands
situation.
later.
I cannot risk upsetting the smooth operation of our next conference. But the case cannot remain unaddressed. I must reassure my guests, and justice will be done. And for
You
that
didn't
to
get a chance to
happen,
answer the question.
I must ask for your help.
Why is that?
You met Elizabeth. You spoke together, I believe.
She trusted you. Listen, Louis. Find out who could have committed this murder. I refuse to believe that one of my guests is the murderer. I want to know who is responsible for this. And I trust you.
It was me!
You have my backing.
Oh, joke, I don't know who it is.
Nothing. Can I count on you?
Of course. How would you like me to proceed?
Maybe you could start by going to the scene of the crime. Elizabeth was attacked in her room.
Do you have any suspects in mind, my lord?
I spent most of the night talking with Sir Gregory and His Eminence Piaggi. So I think you can remove them from the list of suspects. Monsieur Bonaparte and President Washington left the party after midnight, I believe. They were tired and went up to bed.
I see.
Can you tell me anything else about what happened?
Now, Louis, I wouldn't want to influence you. Get over there and form your own opinion.
Right. I'll get over there immediately.
Thank you, Louis. And once you've
Right,
finished,
we're gonna
come back
solve
and
the
let me know
murder.
your findings.
And Studio's back. Good.
And look,
I like Studios.
you've
He's
got
a great
permission
guy.
to search through the guests'
So is
room.
Frankie. You're great.
They'll be notified and they agree.
Right, we are going to solve a crime. Let's talk to Mr. Bishop.
Your Eminence, I imagine that you've heard the news about Miss Adams.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble. It's probably nothing. One last thing. You must know that Peru hit young Adams on the evening of our arrival. He apparently violently attacked her in the small salon.
Do you know anything else about the attack?
Oh, unfortunately not. I arrived too late to intervene. Young Miss Adams had already been submitted to the foul louse rat. Otherwise, you can believe me, it would not have happened.
I'm gonna have a look around first. That book will come in handy. Oh, painting.
The Nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781.
There's a few paintings, isn't there? Nice paintings. Oh, my foot's going to sleep. We're starting the stream. Haha. I'm in pain. Welcome to Thai Studio Apartment. I think I read that wrong, but I do apologize. You know my reading is terrible.
Sir Jacques Peru?
Let's have a sneaky someone's room, eh? Titanic! Can you imagine this game was Titanic? That'd be so weird. Just saying, it would be weird. Can you imagine that, Titanic the game? That'd be so weird.
What do you want from me, de Richet?
Greetings. It's fallen to me
Cut
that...
the crap! Get to the point. We both know why you're here.
And have you got anything to tell me?
What does it matter? It's too late anyway. Do what you have to do and get out.
It does a bit.
It's never too late, sir. If you have something to say, Now is the time.
You don't understand. Everything's already written. It's over.
Why is he behaving like the perfect culprit? What is it that's already written? I'm not sure I follow you.
No, you don't.
A pattern of 4 circles.
Why is that guy? The only shit I have no is doing this moment in time. I can lock this box, see what's in here. Apparently there's a glitch going on my screen. Again. Whoopie-doo.
Dear Monsieur Peru, I'm writing to thank you for the funds you sent. These funds will be crucial.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Oh, the great detective always looks the scenes of the crime.
The Massacre of the Innocents, but by Van Harlem. I think that Mortimer likes to play mind games with his guests.
Yeah, fair point. Okay, I can open that one. Oh, great detective minds. Oh, look at that bath. I want to go in it. I am jealous.
Dear friend, please come and join us. We must meet about the ongoing operations in Paris. A boat?
I see this guy's hiding something. Probably haven't got the evidence yet. Let's carry on investigating some different rooms, eh? Ask him a few more questions, eh?
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman? I'm not saying any more. There's no point you insisting. All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer
He's
a few
hiding
questions.
something, but I can't figure out what. Hang on, not
Goodbye,
yet.
sir. We shall meet again.
Probably.
That guy is a very angry person, I don't know why. Usually people who are angry cause them to hide. Right, next door. Get it, next door, because we've next door. Bad joke of the day, bad joke of the day. Well, at least I got one person watching me. It counts for something. Because I'm not on the Minecraft. I'm playing that tomorrow. Right, let's investigate this room.
My dearest son.
Don't really want to read that too much.
The Battle of Alexander at Issus, or how Alexander the Great triumphed over a drachma.
Ooh, chessboard. Can we play some chess?
There's just one holster in Bonaparte's gear, and the pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him.
That's
My
good to
dear
know that.
Napoleon.
So, we know Napoleon is armed. Oh, I'm hiding behind this body thing.
French actor Talma is Nero in Britannic. Amber crystals. It's a beautiful weapon. A lovely damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles.
Let's talk
Monsieur
here.
de Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy.
Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
Can you tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, There were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
Thank you.
Ah, and His Eminence Piaggi as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Poor soul.
Did you notice anything unusual during the evening?
Nothing at all. Except the luck of the devil of Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory at cards.
Why you do cards?
Did they win much?
Oh la la, monsieur, they cleaned us out more like.
Fair enough, Studios.
But I plan on getting it all back before we leave.
I've got Detective Studios and Detective Sherlock in the case.
Did any of you leave during the game?
Not that I know of, monsieur. I didn't exactly spend my time noting the other guests' comings and goings, but I don't think so.
Thank you. What time did the game end?
I can't say exactly. As for me, I must have stayed until midnight. I was exhausted, couldn't think straight, so I preferred to go up to bed.
On your way up to bed, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, not in the least. The whole manor was sound
Hey,
asleep.
Fire Dragon, welcome to the stream.
Not really. No.
You need help with a UPC. This is on PS4, mate.
Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful.
The computer.
You see,
yes, I'm the wrong person. The person I could just
I saw
answer that
someone leaving
question.
her room
I
in
feel like
haste,
everyone
and I wanted to
is
speak
lying
to her
on
to
this
warn
game
her.
to me.
Unfortunately,
Good
the
point,
only
Detective
slipped
Studios.
through my
Good
fingers
point.
each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
I've been studying him for a while now, and I don't think he was lying. Yet, I'm surprised how easy it was for me to read him. It must surely be his military side. I wish they all could be like that. My investigation would be finished already.
Right,
Well,
let's
have
leave.
we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
Right, let's go to the next room, eh? See if we've got any more investigating to do. Detective Studios and Detective Sherlock on the case. I know, it's weird, isn't it? Someone's lying. The two suspects so far. I think that French guy's got something to hide. So far, in my head. Eesh. Logic. Be quiet, you stupid tablet. Right, let's investigate this room. Bookcase over there.
Grammar of Port-Royal. Ah, the artistry of the French language in all its splendor. Whoever masters French commands the world. At least une partie of it.
I could play Minecraft 5 Dragon, but at the moment, just taking some time away from the game, mate. I'll be back to Minecraft. Well, I like the picture. Why is 360p? Okay. Don't know what you mean, but okay. Oh, there she is. My next suspect.
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumours spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well.
You are PC.
But
I
hope
know
at
nothing
least
about
the poor
PC,
thing didn't
Fire
suffer
Dragon.
too much.
It was PS4, I know a lot about it. What can you do?
Death came quickly. You can be assured of that.
If such a senseless act can happen here, then none of us is truly safe anywhere.
Okay.
Lord Mortimer must be mortified that one of his guests could have committed such an act, don't you think?
He is indeed very upset about it.
I know
It's only
PC guy
natural for such a violent murder.
by a dragon.
Violent? What do you mean?
Elizabeth was stabbed 9
Sorry,
times.
I can't help with
Oh
your
my
PC
God,
problem,
Louis.
mate.
How awful. The murderer must have had a serious grudge against her to set upon her like that. It must have been a crime of passion. Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth,
Ah, fair
not
enough.
to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
I must admit, Louis, I didn't take much interest in her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
Very interesting, but stupid.
I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering
Jesus
my
Christ, got
questions.
4 people watching me now.
See you, Louis.
Ah! Our Tom Cruise Studio has a suspect in the case.
A letter
Dragon.
from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. 2 coils circle the lock.
Oh, I can't see the unlock it.
A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister.
Oh, I can't do
Some
that
of the
either.
dates from 15 years ago now. Madam, I shall never...
The murderer is the daddy. Murderer is the daddy. The murderer is the
A letter
daddy.
from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily.
Yeah, we get the picture.
Present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. Madam. A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best
we go.
disguised traits.
We are gonna carry on the investigation. Oh, I've got a bit posh on you guys. Investigation.
Dear E, I received your last letter. Unfortunately, the Crown informed the Golden...
Ah, who cares? Fight me. Are you feeling alright, Fire Dragon? I think you need help, mate. Can't go in that room. You missing anything outside? Nope. Fair point, Studios. Fair point indeed. I think Studios does only one up for this.
Huh, that's me.
Oh, don't forget my own room, do I?
Monsignor, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Can't go in that room. Like I said to everyone before, I'm not a PC expert, so if you trust someone PCs, don't trust me. I'll probably break the thing. Right, next door. Oh, that freaked me out. Maybe the murderer is in the police. Oh, fair enough, Studios. Me and Detective Studios. Strangle with 7 potatoes. Sorry. Oh, I can't move for some reason. Let's have a look around this room. Maybe this guy has got something to hide.
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better. Portrait of George Washington.
Who has a painting of himself? That's a bit weird.
My dear George. My dear George.
It's going to be the
My
same
dear
thing.
George.
Yeah, it is. Let's talk to his suspect.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the
Oh,
truth
thanks for the
about
like
this
for that
tragedy.
is.
I must ask you to help me.
Appreciate it.
Please.
Find the
Lols.
degenerate pig
Says
who
Fire
did
Dragon.
this, Louis.
Are you all right, Mr. President? Are you feeling all right?
Oh, don't worry. It's this rotten toothache. What do you expect? I'm no spring chicken now.
Are you all right, Mr. President?
Oops.
Are you feeling all right?
Oh, don't worry. It's this rotten toothache. What do you expect? I'm no
Why are you asking
spring
me all these
chicken
PC
now.
questions? I know nothing about computers, mate.
I'm talking to all the guests to find out who has an alibi and, well, who doesn't, Mr. President. Can you tell me what you were doing last night so that I can strike your name off the list?
I spent the night right here, reading.
All night?
Exactly. Emily stopped by in the middle of the night. You can ask her. She wanted to talk about some business we have in common.
Anything whatsoever to do with Elizabeth?
Not at all, Louis. A business matter.
Why do I not believe him?
Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered. Do you know if she had any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of. I heard about her altercation with Mr. Perry. But that case was closed, if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt, I wouldn't leave any door unopened. And I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry. Countryman or not, I'm not letting anybody slip through the cracks. Do you know why she came to the island?
To get help, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right?
Hey Frankie,
Indeed.
welcome back to the
Sir
stream.
Gregory suggested
Maybe
to her
the
father
girl
that he introduce her to Lord Mortimer
before
to
she
see if
has
he
7
could
days
help.
to die. 7 days to die. Fair point, studios. Fair point indeed, mate. Haven't got enough points. Let's
Yes,
finish it.
Lord Mortimer has a talent for healing, apparently. I'm not surprised Sir Gregory advised her to come.
This case is getting a bit confusing. Not doing too badly, actually,
I
Frank.
shan't keep you any longer, Mr. President.
Feel free, Louis. If there's anything I can do, just ask.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Right, let's go. Someone's hiding something. But main suspect's that French guy.
Good
Let's talk to
day,
him.
Monsieur de Richet.
Mr. Volner, are you looking for anything in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
No, nothing special.
Hmm.
Has anyone told you that Elizabeth was killed last night?
Yes. Rumors spread quickly.
Huh. He looks very put out.
It's It's horrible. How did it happen?
I can say nothing to you, sir. You'd better follow your host's instructions and stay in your quarters.
I shall leave you now, sir. I will return to my room.
Usually murderers return to the scene of the crime. Oh. Right. We're finally in her room now. So let's go and find some clothes. Oh dear. Yeah, I was thinking of him as well. I could be on Issues Studios. I found no information about it yet. So no, I found no information yet.
There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars.
I know nothing yet. This moment in. Yeah.
People who scar themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control. People who scar themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control. I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck, maybe mutilations. She bled from the nose. What a strange smell. What a strange smell. No wounds, but blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol. Blood, but no trace of blows on the legs.
She was brutally murdered.
More tattoos, similar to those on the rest of her body.
She was properly murdered. Well, we found the murder weapon.
The blade is short and thin. Well sharpened, apparently. It's covered in blood. Still fresh. The lower part of the handle is unsullied by blood. The murderer gripped the weapon so tight that there's no blood where he held it. The handprint indicates a small and slender hand.
Yeah, that's what I point at, studios.
Knocked over a bottle of wine.
Do you think she was drunk?
What clunk is that? Hey, it's a Bordeaux. That's a Chateau de Brion. It's a great wine. I don't know what's happened to this wine, but it's undrinkable.
Undrinkable wine? Do you think she was poisoned?
Clock stopped at 3:54. If it was
Is that the time
smashed
of
during
death?
the murder, then I've just established the time of the crime. That would clear Emily de facto because she was still with me at the time.
Well, Emily's off the list now.
A pentagram. What the hell's been going on here? Many esoteric rituals are based on this shape. Could Elizabeth have been sacrificed during an occult ritual?
I'm thinking him like.
A pentagram. What the hell's been going on here? I wonder if Elizabeth's death has anything at all to do with this pentagram. If a ritual went wrong and degenerated, Elizabeth would probably have been killed in the center of the pentagram, not 3 meters from here. That's strange.
Very strange indeed.
A notebook written in Elizabeth's handwriting. It is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work out. A notebook written in Elizabeth's handwriting. It is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work out. A notebook written in
That is one
Elizabeth's
of
handwriting.
skills and
It
reading.
is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work out.
June 11th.
Oh, is this the murder weapon? That must be the first guy's
Pistol?
weapon.
Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light. A tribute engraved on the barrel. To the liberators of France. There's a few dried traces of blood on the grip. Difficult to know for sure how they got there. It's extremely well maintained. The barrel is perfectly clean. It isn't loaded, and there's no traces of gunshot residue. I'd conclude that it hasn't been used recently. Right. I shall have to find its owner.
August 24th. June 11th. August 24th.
Very interesting.
Piece of fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear. It's a travel dress. The silk has been lightly waxed to protect it from bad weather. And I know the very woman who came up with the idea, given all the traveling she does. My mother. God help us. Why did she come here in the first place? The material appears to have undergone abnormal wear and tear. She must have been scouring the countryside, and that doesn't look good. A piece of fabric. High quality at that. I'd
Let's
say it's
check
silk.
this one more time.
Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a...
Hi, Tim
a
Gaming,
dress,
welcome to
that
the channel,
kind that
welcome to the
women of
stream,
quality
mate. How you doing?
The color doesn't correspond to Emily's black outfits, and Elizabeth doesn't have anything quite like this in her wardrobe. Let's take a closer look. It's a little dirty. It must come from the bottom of the dress where it touches the ground. I recognize that moire pattern. It's the same as the travel dress my mother was wearing when she left. But why the hell did she come into this room?
Don't tell me my mother's the murderer. Oops, didn't mean to do that. My bad.
A pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light.
Right, we know the pistol's not the murder weapon. It must be the bottle or the thingy.
Right. I shall have to find its owner.
Now we have to find out who the owner is of the weapon.
Vials of laudanum. The label shows that this laudanum comes straight from America. I wonder if Washington's involved. The label shows that this laudanum comes straight from America. I wonder if Washington's involved.
I doubt Washington has a motive for a murder. I think.
My dear Elizabeth.
You scared the crap out of me, mate.
Has finished with this room?
What do you think, guys? Do you think we're finished?
Do you know who could have made such a mess of this room?
Miss Adams, sir. We were given orders to leave the room as it was, so as not to rush her.
Did she have a fight with someone to get the room into this state?
Not that I know of, sir. Miss Adams would sometimes throw a tantrum, during which she would destroy anything that came to hand. Lord Mortimer told us not to enter the room.
Thanks for that information.
You are welcome, sir. Has finished with this room?
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Someone is hiding something, but who? Because he's a servant, mate. I think. He's not a suspect, so... I doubt he's a suspect.
What can I do for you, de Richet?
Monsieur, Lord Mortimer has appointed me to investigate the tragedy that befell us last night.
Oh, yes. It's horrible. Yes. How can I help, monsieur?
Where were you last night?
In my room. I read a few ancient manuscripts before going to bed. But I didn't stay up long. I was tired.
Thank you kindly. We finished. I'll have a look around and then take my leave.
Do whatever you have to do.
Right. Let's see if he's hiding anything.
Amber crystals.
Amber crystals. Oh, pardon me.
Golden elixir. The Sorrows of Young Werther. There's a handwritten text signed by von Werner on this first page. Dear Elizabeth, I know that this book is but a small token compared to the delightful moments you gave me, but I hope that this will nonetheless keep the memory alive. Your ever obedient servant. So, Volner had a relationship with Elizabeth, but that's hardly surprising given his fondness for the occult. Honey, the remedy of the gods.
That's what I'm thinking, mate. Maybe we should go back to the scene of the crime. I'm going back to that woman's room to see what else I can find. Some rooms I go in, some rooms I can't. Have I been in this room yet? Who knows at this moment in time? I think the old guy may have a motive. Washington may be a... but I don't think he has a motive. The woman definitely doesn't have a motive because she slept with me, so... well, not on general betting the game because I was watching the early episodes, but my main suspect is that old guy.
Dear Monsieur... All right. I've retrieved everything.
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. You were armed the night of my arrival. Can I see your weapon?
No.
You do realize you're not helping, don't you? You're making it worse for yourself. You were armed the night of my arrival. Can I see your weapon?
No.
You do realize you're not helping, don't you? You're making it worse for yourself.
The crime is still suspect.
I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman? I'm not saying any more. There's no point you insisting.
Just one holster in Bonaparte's gear, and the pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him.
My dear Napoleon.
There's just one holster in Bonaparte's gear, and the pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him. Golden elixir. I'll keep it for later.
You alright, Freezy Players? Welcome to the stream. Just talking to someone.
A bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier.
Monsieur de Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy.
Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
Did you notice anything unusual during the evening?
Nothing at all. Except the luck of the devil of
going
Lord
well.
Mortimer and
Yes.
Sir Gregory at cards.
Did they win much?
Oh la la, monsieur, they cleaned us out more like. But I plan on getting it all back before we leave.
Can you tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, there were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
Thank you.
Ah, and His Eminence Piaggi as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Poor soul. Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
What can I do for you, Louis?
I hear you were in discussions with the Holy See.
Oh, either His Eminence can't keep his tongue from wagging, or you've been poking your nose where you shouldn't, sir.
Even so, Emily, you're raising a royalist army. That's no small matter.
And you are straying from the subject. Is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
I found a torn piece of dress in Miss Adams' room. Gray silk.
Where's it from?
That's what I'm trying to find out. The color doesn't match any of Elizabeth's dresses, but I might not have found all of her clothes yet.
Good Lord, Louis, do you realize what this means? If this piece of dress isn't from Elizabeth, then it's... I don't have any grey silk dresses, Louis. Neither does my sister, since we wear the same clothes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to check with you.
I'm so sorry, Louis.
Thank you.
Are you all right? You know, I'm sure there's a good reason why your mother was at the scene.
Thank you, Emily. We found the murder weapon.
What is it?
A dagger, quite slim.
Have you found its owner?
Not yet. Still searching as it happens. That said, since the blade penetrated the body several times, the murderer's hand will have been covered in blood.
You think that's a clue?
The handprint was a very slender hand, Emily. Probably that of a woman.
Do you realize what that means? There are only 3 of us on the island. Bearing in mind that neither my sister nor myself had any reason to set upon the young lady, that means...
I know, Emily. I know.
Keep up your courage, Louis. I'm sure there's an explanation. You're bound to shed some light on it all.
If what you say is true, Emily, I'm less and less enthusiastic about shedding any light on the subject. I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
Huh, that's me.
Greetings, Louis.
Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered. Do you know if she had any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of. I heard about her altercation with Mr. Perry, but that case was closed, if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt, I wouldn't leave any door unopened. And I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry. Countryman or not, I'm not letting anybody slip through the cracks. Do you know why she came to the island?
To get help, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right?
Indeed. Sir Gregory suggested to her father that he introduce her to Lord Mortimer to see if he could help her.
Yes, Lord Mortimer has a talent for healing, apparently. I'm not surprised Sir Gregory advised her to come.
Agreed. I shan't keep you any longer, Mr. President.
Feel free, Louis. If there's anything I can do, just ask.
Thank you, Mr. President.
My dear George,
clock stopped at 3:54. If it was smashed during the murder, then I've just established the time of the crime. That would clear Emily de facto because she was still with me at the time. Vials of laudanum. The label shows that this laudanum comes straight from America. I wonder if Washington's involved. Vials of laudanum. Vials of laudanum. A chest with a half-circle pattern.
Bingo.
An untutored hand copied these notes. Looks like a healing method. Well, that's a pity. The writing is barely legible. Poor girl bled to death. Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe. The handprint on the handle is really small. I can't imagine a man with a hand that size. It must be from a woman's hand. My dear Elizabeth, a pentagram? What the hell's been going on here? I wonder if Elizabeth's death has anything at all to do with this pentagram. If a ritual went wrong and degenerated, Elizabeth would probably have been killed in the center of the pentagram, not 3 meters from here. That's strange. A notebook, written in Elizabeth's handwriting. It is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work out. A notebook, written in Elizabeth's handwriting. It is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work out. August 24th. Piece of fabric, high quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear. The color doesn't correspond to Emily's black outfits, and Elizabeth doesn't have anything quite like this in her wardrobe. Let's take a closer look. It's a little dirty. It must come from the bottom of the dress where it touches the ground. I recognize that moire pattern. It's the same as the travel dress my mother was wearing when she left. But why the hell did she come into this room?
Right guys, I do apologise for my end the stream. I'll catch you later.